Seemingly out of nowhere, we all woke up to find out that we have not only attacked Venezuela with troops on the ground, but we also arrested their president. It has been confirmed that the president of Venezuela, Maduro, and his wife are in captivity. Now, this is really controversial because a lot of people did not want this. In fact, when it was announced that President Trump was going to make a big announcement a couple weeks ago, everyone was saying it was going to be announcing a war with Venezuela. That didn't end up happening. The press conference was full of filler. It seemed like it was about absolutely nothing, despite the fact that it was hyped up to be important. Now, people online were kind of laughing about it and were like, "Ha, guys, see, there's not going to be war in Venezuela. You guys were fear-mongering. You're panicking," whatever they wanted to say. I think this proves that that was exactly the case. This probably was going to be formally announced. People were not happy about it. That's not what ended up happening. I would say this suggests that that probably was in the works, though. It just didn't end up happening. It didn't end up being a war. I must say, if there's one good thing to come out of this, it's that it was very quick and effective and efficient. There was probably very little casualties and not a lot of money was likely wasted, as this ended up not being another forever war or anything. This seems to have been very quick, very instant. That is about where the good news ends, though, because we did not want more wars. This seems to be about an issue that is not consistent. It's even arbitrary. Now, that is about where the good news ends, because a lot of us are suspicious that this war seems to have been started through means that are not necessarily true. We seem to have gone through with this because our administration says that Maduro was acting as some sort of narco-terrorist and sending too much drugs to America, especially fentanyl, which was killing a bunch of people. But this seems a bit arbitrary, right? This is interesting because if China and Mexico are where most of these drugs come from, why is that not an issue? Why are we not attacking them? Not that I want to attack them, but it seems a little arbitrary to say that Venezuela are the narco-terrorists here. As you can see, very little fentanyl comes from Venezuela. This is more likely an excuse to attack them. Ironically enough, Trump has even pardoned another president, the president of Honduras, for similar problems, similar drug-related issues. This kind of just shows exactly how arbitrary this is. We just want the truth. Don't say it's about drugs if it's not, especially not when other people get away with it and others don't. Just say it, say what it is. Want more oil? At least say that's what you want. We're going to wars over lies, and that is never okay. War is never ideal, but it's especially not ideal if you're going into it for the wrong reasons or for reasons that we don't even know. Our tax dollars fund these wars, but we don't even get the right to know why we're doing them. That's just ridiculous. Right now on social media, I'm even seeing people go, wow, oil prices are gonna decrease heavily. We're gonna take Venezuela's oil. We're gonna take it over. But that wasn't the point, right? The point was supposed to be that this was about stopping fentanyl from coming to the country from narco-terrorists, whatever that means. We have to stick to the plot. We can't just keep moving the goalpost and saying, no, yeah, it's bad, but here's why it's good also. Because that's not any of the reasons why anyone said we were doing this in the first place. And I'm sure it's not a coincidence that this is one of the few countries that don't have a bank owned by the Rothschild. But that's a whole other can of worms, but I wouldn't be surprised if that has something to do with it. Things get worse too, because if this was just about stopping drugs, why is Trump now saying his own words that the United States is gonna run Venezuela? Apparently this is just until a new president takes the spot, but why are the United States getting involved in the politics of another country? This is not America first, that's for sure. This also doesn't seem like something that Trump or his base should be celebrating. This seems like some neocon nonsense that have been in the talks for a very long time. Marco Rubio is on record supporting regime change in Venezuela as early as 2014. Now, he's Secretary of State. He's so connected to Trump. He seems to have so many roles in this administration. It seems like everything goes the way Marco Rubio wants, not Donald Trump, not anything he ran on, and not his base. Say what you want about Donald Trump or the administration. Maybe you don't like them, maybe you never did. But one thing's for sure, when somebody wins the presidency, when somebody had a mandate, and it seems to go the opposite direction of what people voted for, whether you like it or not, that is still a bad thing. And now it's just something probably most people don't agree with, never mind the people who voted against him. All in all, it seems to go completely against Trump's previous mandate, what he ran on, the peace president. We're not seeing a lot of that. Seeing a lot of war, seeing a lot of wars other people wanted. People that originally opposed Trump, especially in 2020 and 2024. Most of these people were anti-Trump during the primaries. They only switched over once it's very obvious that Trump was going to win the primaries. All in all, you don't get much less America first than having troops and people in another country and saying we're going to run it. We also need to stop installing presidents in other countries. It shouldn't be the United States getting involved in these things, especially if the current president ran on peace and not getting involved with other countries. That's the big issue here. The big issue is that the people don't want a war right now, especially a regime change war, and we're sick of being lied to. That's the end all be all. Nobody wanted this. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think the ends justify the means? Do you think that there's a reason for this that maybe we don't know and maybe it's for the best? You let me know. Let's talk about it and let's see where this goes next.